And I just wanted to do a video this week on fear and the paralysis that this has on both business owners and on employees of businesses. And I think that we're in very uncertain times at the moment. Obviously, multiple countries are going into lockdown and shutdowns, and the future is really uncertain to many people. But the one thing, or my one bit of advice to many people that I'm speaking to on a day-to-day basis is that these times will pass. Winter always comes, but then spring always comes following it. So these times will come and go, but how you deal with it and how you manage these opportunities or difficult times is really going to be telling in the 3 months' time or 6 months or 9 months' time. I'm talking to many business owners that are so focused and so concerned about the short term that they're not having the ability to think about the decisions they're making now and the impact that these will have on their businesses in 12, 24, 36 months. And I understand for many businesses, some of them may not even be open during those times. But I've also seen many businesses that have been able to pivot their business model on a very, very short amount of time. I look at cafes that are now delivering, that are now open for takeaway only. And I spoke to a couple of these yesterday, and they said that the ability to pivot has meant that they're more agile, they're more cost effective, and they're able to get through these times, and they're relatively positive about getting through these. So there's other situations where businesses are not quite in that same situation. Within the accounting industry, I've also seen many, many large firms and many accounting firms that for years didn't want to move to cloud technology, didn't want to allow the work from home. They were concerned about the security. But these times have forced them to make these decisions. Now they're starting to see some of the benefits. So I also see in 3, 6, 9, 12 months' time that when we get back to what the new normal will be, that these businesses are going to be better for these learnings. My advice to anyone that I'm talking to, and this is something that I'm talking to our executives on a daily basis is around, is what decisions are we making today? What impact will they have in 12 months, 2 years, and 3 years? We need to still be considering long-term decision making while making short-term decisions to get us through these tough times. Now, for everyone, it's tough. You know, for our business, it's been extremely difficult, but we will get through this. We will be better for it, and we're still planning on the things that we need to do now to make certain that when things do turn around, and I'm quite optimistic, particularly with the type of business that we're in, that we're going to go get extremely busy during these times. So what I'm talking to my team about is how can we continue to prepare while we're in holding mode? How can we be ready so when we do go back to the new normal, that we're ready for the growth that we're going to go through, the need and be able to fulfill that for our clients. For many team members, I'm seeing many posts on social media around how the company looks after you during these times is a true reflection of their values. And I 100% agree. I'm very, very proud of how we've been managing and driving our team during these tough times, being able to mobilize them and continue to have them earning income. We have not had to have any layoffs at this stage, and I don't foresee that we will. But I also flip it back and I ask you this question to anyone that works for a company. What are you doing to help your company get through these times? It's not a one-way street. Companies are struggling. Companies are having to move and pivot. Companies have got greater expenses during these times. And I see a lot of posts where employees working for large corporates are only focused about themselves. But what about helping your employer get through these times? Because together you'll be better for it, and together you will grow and flourish out of the other side. So my advice to anyone working for someone is reach out to the executive team, or if it's a smaller business, to the owner, and just ask, what can you do to help make their life easier at the moment? You know, business owners are going through an extremely stressful time. You know, they're looking at the financial situation of the business. How do they manage to get through this, both personally but also for the business? So reach out to them and see what you can do to add value. The more value that you add during these times, the more likely you are to be able to grow when the new normal gets back into situation, whether that be in a month, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, none of us really know. My last bit of advice that I wanted to cover off is to really focus on that one thing that you've been putting off for a long time. For me, I travel a lot, so this is a blessing in some disguise, but it's also a challenge for me because I'm not normally home. I normally travel every second week as a minimum. So for me now, I've been putting off training for an Ironman for many years. I've been doing it, I call on a part-time basis. As I travel, I try and fit in training around work. But in the last week, which was arguably one of the hardest weeks in my business career, I did the most amount of training I've done in the last 9 months. So for me, I'm taking real advantage over the next 2, 3, 4 months while I'm not going to be able to travel internationally, while I'm not going to be able to travel domestically, to focus on my health, to get me in a position where I always wanted to be, but I never put that first. So what's the priority you're going to focus on? Is it going to be additional learning? Is it going to be listening to podcasts, reading books? What are you going to do to make yourself a better version of yourself during this time of uncertainty where we're potentially housebound? We're not able to go out and mingle like we normally are. We don't have all the time constraints that we normally do. So take advantage of that to become a better version of yourself. For me, I hope to be a thinner version of myself. I hope to be a fitter version of myself and a healthier version of myself, over the next 3 to 6 to 9 months as we continue to go through this journey. I don't know what the future holds with the coronavirus. I don't know where it will go, how long it will go, but I'm very optimistic that life will continue to go on. We will continue living. We'll have a different way of doing it in the future. When that is, I don't know, but I'm very optimistic and I'm looking forward for the next 1, 3, 5, 7 years, and I'm planning for that. And I'm just in a holding pattern, and we're continuing to serve the people that we're here to serve, which is our clients and our team members during these tough times, so that we can hold their hands through this and all come out better for it. I wish you the best of luck during these times. Feel free to reach out if you want to chat, even if you just need someone to, show your concerns to or talk to about your concerns. I'm more than happy to have a chat to anyone during these times. So reach out, and if not, I look forward to catching up to you either virtually or in person very soon.